All right, from left to right, we have Bryce Roddy, head coach Landon Powell, and Ethan Stringer, and we'll open it up with Coach Powell's statement and then questions.
Oh man, at this point in the season, I don't know what to say. We've had so many of these type of games. You know, we're down 3 going into the 9th, and somehow we find a way. We've done that all year long. You know, this team, they don't ever give up. They just don't quit, and they never are out of it. They believe that. They know that. They've proven it. I don't know if that's. I would love to look back and see how many come from behind wins we've had after the 7th inning this year, but it's close to double digits, I would bet. Just really proud of them. You know, we didn't play great throughout the middle part of the game. I thought we played really well the first 3 innings. They hit a homer in the 4th, and then we did not play well in the 5th and the 6th. We had bad at-bats, I thought, from the maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th inning. We didn't have very competitive at-bats. But hats off to Columbus State. They pitch well. They change speeds a lot. Their hitters go up there and give really tough at-bats. But that's 2 good baseball teams. And, you know, they've had our number the last couple of years, and the ball doesn't ever bounce our way. And today, maybe it did. So I'm proud of the guys. We got, you know, we obviously, it's good to win the first one, but there's a lot of work left to do in this series. You know, Columbus State's going to show up tomorrow ready to play. So my goal is to get our guys the same way. You know, reset, start over tomorrow, and let's win a game.
Bryce, what's it feel like to have been on the bench for the better part of 9 innings and walk out of there as a hero in the 10th?
It's just unbelievable. All the credit to the coach here, and you know, I just want to give all the glory to God. And you know, I mean, it's tough. It's tough coming in pinch hit, but you know, I feel like I've been preparing myself for this situation all year, and you know, it's a team effort. I think Jordan Holiday really gave us some strong at bats early in the game, and you know, I came in and pinch ran, and you know, when my name was called, I was ready.
Their coach said that on that 0-2 pitch, they were trying to elevate a fastball, and obviously they didn't get it up enough. What were you seeing on that pitch?
Yes, sir. So I was just trying to make sure to stay calm. I noticed that they tried to elevate twice there, and you know, my timing was a little off the first pitch, and then you know, honestly, I kind of thought that they were going to go breaking ball there, but you know, as head coach says, Landon Powell, he says fastball and adjust, and that's what I did. Saw the fastball and took it over the middle.
You know, Bryce is obviously a young guy. He's a freshman, but the reason he's here is because he can hit. He's always been able to hit. He's a competitor. He gets in there and he grinds. And the thing I liked about him in high school, and the reason I recruited him, is he's got really quick hands. He can hit a fastball. And the scouting report on him is not to try to elevate late on him. I will tell you that. I've watched him for however many months now. The kid can hit a fastball. So I'm proud of him. That's a big moment as a freshman to get in there in an 0-2 count, back against the wall, and he wasn't scared. He's a winner. And my goal in recruiting is to recruit winners. And I've been fortunate to do it more often than not. So I definitely squared one up right here.
And then he doesn't get the opportunity. You, as an old guy, come up with a 2-out hit right after Garrett had done the same thing. Take me through that at bat that drove in the tying run.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to toot my horn too much, but one thing I've always prided myself on is when I'm 0-for-4 coming up in my 5th at bat and being able to be a competitor and get that hit. Me and Bryce had a little conversation before. I said, hey, one of us, like me or you, is going to win this game. And just went up there. I knew that they were got a first pitch fastball, my first at bat, but after that they were going kind of soft early. That guy had pretty good stuff, but everything was firm. I knew if I stayed on my fastball timing and kind of told myself I'll get a first pitch slider, I'll hit it. I did. I just missed it, and then kind of figured, you know, looked like I was on that one a little bit, like just get ready for a fastball right here, not try to do too much, and just shoot it right back where it comes from. And yeah, no, just trusting my preparation, trusting my ability, and then I guess it worked out.
For either of the players, it seemed like, you know, the belief, you could, going to that point, you could see that belief kind of starting to build, you know, as you went into the latter innings. What changed, or was it just that you've been in this situation many times throughout the long season?
Yeah, I mean, like we've been saying all year, we're battle tested. We've been in this spot a long time, or many times, excuse me. Everybody's been up there with the situation to win the game at least once at some point this year. So it's a spot that I found myself comfortable in. It's a spot that I've honestly enjoyed being in, and it's something that I hope it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. Hopefully we take care of business early, but if it happens again tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it.
Landon, I was a little surprised that you sent Reese back out for the 6th inning after he really struggled in the 5th, and he rewarded that confidence. What went into that thought process of sending him back out there?
Reese is a kid that tends to get stronger as the game goes on. In his couple years now, he's a sophomore, but I've noticed over his career, he usually struggles in the 1st or 2nd inning of games, but he really gets better as the game goes on and gets stronger. I know he had a couple bad innings in the 4th and 5th. It wasn't really bad. He gave a home run, a 0-0 hanger, and cost him 2 runs with 2 outs. The next inning was not his best inning. Also, I kind of work backwards sometimes looking at the game. I know my bullpen pretty well. And, I wanted Herlong to get in there and kind of be a 1-inning guy. I wanted Dawson Taylor to be a 1-inning guy so that both of them are available again tomorrow. And then have Hudson at the back end to put up zeros, and hopefully we get back in this thing. And if we tie it, I know that he can go out there and throw a couple zeros up. He's a dominant pitcher. So that was my game plan. If Reese could get me that 6th inning, then I could go Herlong, Dawson, Hudson. And if we tied it, Hudson could kind of stay in there. And that's exactly how it worked out. So I don't know if I'm good or just lucky.
Is Hudson available tomorrow?
Oh yeah, he's a senior. We already talked about it in there. He threw 38 pitches or something. He'll bounce back. He'll be ready.
And back to Reese for a minute. You talked about the hanger that the kid hit for the 2-run home run. He got away with 3 or 4 of those. He was really struggling in the early part of the ball game with that breaking ball. Sometimes he hung 3 or 4 of them and got away with it. This game, as we talked about with Coach Apple, you can't make too many mistakes at this level with what's on the line here.
Yeah, the level of hitters at this point in the season they're good, they're elite, right? So if you make mistakes, you're going to not really get away from them very often. Going into the game, Reese and I talked about kind of throwing his curveball for a strike. Lately, he's been missing down a lot with it. So I told him before the game, just throw it in there for a strike, and they'll take it, or they'll hit a fly ball. The wind's blowing into left. And after the first 2 innings, they had barreled up a couple, but they didn't really do a ton of damage on them. So I like his curveball cutter mix. The ball the guy hit out was a cutter, and he just spun it. It wasn't a good one. And that's Reese's best pitch. He's been, I would tell you that he probably has gotten 70% of his outs this year on cutters. That's his best pitch. And he just threw a bat in. And he's a college sophomore. That happens sometimes. And you have to tip your hat to Wiley. The kid didn't miss it. That kid had a great game. He 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. He's a good player. So just fortunate to have the cardiac kids on my side, and they don't give up. And I'm just proud of the fight they have, and for them to come back and win that game is special.
Ethan, this Columbus State team, the last 2 times you've met in the postseason, has eliminated you, including last year. Was there a mental aspect to getting the monkey off the back by getting this win against them, or does what happened in the past, does that not even come into play?
Well, I was only here for one of those, but I know my roommate and a couple other guys have been around for both of those, and we always joke around and say never twice, but if they get you more than twice, or if they get you twice, never thrice. And just being confident. This is a team. I think they only beat us by 1 run last season.
Yeah.
Or last year.
10-9.
10-9. Yeah, and just I think they got off to a really early lead on us, and we just knew if we came in and just played our game of baseball, played our brand, we'd at least compete with them and not try to do too much, not try to think too much about it, not worry about tomorrow or 5 hours from now, just focus in on every pitch and just play our brand of baseball.
And you've talked about spreading around the arms a lot over the last few weeks. How big is that? Obviously, you look at the numbers today. You talk about Reese shutting down, everybody else pretty much shut them down the rest of the way. How big is that, particularly heading into a big game tomorrow?
I think the way I manage the pitching staff comes more from my pro ball side. In professional baseball, if a guy throws 30 or more pitches, he doesn't throw the next day. If he throws 50 or more, he doesn't throw for 2 or 3 days. You don't really throw starters more than 100 pitches. So I've run my pitching staff like that since I've been here, and a lot of other college coaches don't. They'll throw guys 140 pitches. They'll throw a pitcher twice in one day in a doubleheader. They'll throw a guy 50 pitches one day, turn around, throw 70 to the next. I've never done that. I want to keep my arms fresh. I want to protect my arms. And I also think it builds a lot of depth with our pitching staff. Because if you go look at our stats, we have 7 or 8 guys that have thrown 25 plus innings. So when you get down to late in the year like this, there's a lot of guys you can call on that you feel confident in. They've been battle tested. They've been in the fire, and I just think that helps your team. So it's good that Herlong and Dawson are both guys that didn't throw much, and they'll both be ready to roll tomorrow. Hudson, he's a senior, and this is his last go. He's going to be ready also just because of that. If he was a sophomore or junior, maybe I wouldn't throw him tomorrow, but senior, this is his last chance. So I feel good about where we're at. We got plenty of arms in the stable, and I know my guys are going to show up tomorrow and compete until that last pitch. So we'll see what happens.
One more thing for Bryce. You come into here after obviously playing all the time, and now you're in a situation where you have to wait your turn. How do you mentally prepare when you know the chances are you may not play, but then they get called on you? You have to be ready regardless. How do you go about that from a mental preparation standpoint?
I've always, as credit to Trey Dyson, he's always told me to be ready and stay ready. And, I think that's what I've really, kind of realized and figured out coming into this year. That's what I've learned the most my freshman year is always learning to be ready. Because in high school, as you said, I played every day. And, also I want to give credit to Gary Octavio as I played behind him this year. No one else coming in to play behind him. And, I think he's really prepared me for this situation, and so has Landon. And I would like to give credit to Stringer too. Before the game, Stringer, we were sitting there hitting, and he's kind of giving me some tips on my bat path and stuff, and I really think that helped me today.
It's funny how baseball works and decision making and things work. Bryce would have probably been in that situation anyway. Like I probably would have put him in to pinch hit there if someone else was in that spot. But earlier, the previous inning, Jordan Holiday got that hit, and Jordan's on second. So the guy that usually pinch runs for us in any situation is Darian Whitaker. He's a fast base runner. He's done a great job. So my immediate thing was, I was like, Darian, get ready to run. And he was caught off guard, right? He wasn't ready. And I'm not picking on Darian. He's had a tremendous season as a freshman for us. He just wasn't quite ready in that moment. Bryce was standing right next to me, like that look in his eye, like ready. And I said, never mind, Bryce, go. And that's how he got in the game. And then when his spot came up, obviously he was already in there, but it's just, you don't get ready, you stay ready. And that's the way you should play sports.
I got to ask you one more question, because you mentioned Jordan Holiday. I was sitting in your office, discussion about playing or not playing today, and you said you just loved the way he had his batting practice round. And what does he do? He rewards you 2 sacrifice flies, a double, and a single. So you're either good or lucky, right?
Yeah, I'm either good or lucky.
Coach, going into the 10th inning, both you and Columbus State were 6 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors. You really never see that on the scoreboard going into extra innings, but it shows how you guys are 2 competitive teams, but 2 equal teams. Talk a little bit about going into tomorrow playing against Columbus State.
Yeah, they're as close to us as a team that we faced this year, I would say, offensively, defensively, pitching. They're a great ball club, and I think we're a great ball club. So it does not surprise me that the scoreboard was mirroring itself and that it came down to the last pitch. That would make sense with 2 good teams like that. And I'm sure it'll be that way again tomorrow. And I'm excited for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.